Afternoon everyone, welcome to another edition of Paper Ball and Pen Tube. I've got another kind of review video today. I had some suspicions over the power of my rifles. I felt the HW110 that you've seen in my previous videos was probably shooting a bit low. So I thought I needed a chronograph one. I didn't have a chronograph one. I also didn't have £150 to pay for a chronograph, one of these flashy ones that you see on the internet. So I had a look, and I bought this, which is 20 quid, Chinese eBay chronograph, or as they call it, speedometer. I wanted to see if it did the same thing. I didn't want anything flash, I didn't want it to do all the calculations for me. I just wanted something that could read the speed of the penning. So I sent it off for this, and it came back. And here it is. It's that no brand. The model is something I can't pronounce. 4.1 volts. The range is 1 to 999 meters per second. Now the one thing to know about this is that it does do meters per second. It doesn't do feet per second. However, a quick search on Google and you can get that kind of calculated from meters per second to feet per second, or I think its time was 3.04, something like that. So I thought I'd try it out. So it turned up in about a week, and like I say, it only cost 20 quid. And what did it come with? This is it. This is the unit. Came in a plain box with no branding on it. Came with two attachment types. It came with this, which is kind of sits there on top. See if I can do it for you there. Sits there on top. If you take this silver piece off, that's my preferred piece, but it sits there. So if you've just got a barrel with no silencer on it, you can sneak it between those. And then it's got these screws, which require a Allen key or hex key to go into them. But my rifles have got silencers on them. So what I'd use is this other kind of stainless steel piece here. And then you would get your silencer, here's what I've taken off, and you pop it in there, and then you screw down the butterfly nuts on the bottom to hold it tight. I normally kind of wrap like a handkerchief or a piece of cloth around there just to kind of protect that silencer. When you're putting it in, you don't want to put the silencer any further than the edge of this rest here. You don't want it any closer. You don't want it like that. You don't want it like that. Just want it kind of level with the edge like that. So I've got this. It fits pretty well. It comes with some instructions, which are all in Chinese. I can barely speak English, but Chinese is beyond me. So I had a look at Chinese translators, and I found this really good app actually, where you can take a picture of that. All you have to do is take a photo of it, and it translates what it says there. So it says light, curtain, projectile, measuring device. That's what all these funny symbols on the top here. Multifunction, high precision, speedometer. That's all the middle ones here. And these bottom four Chinese symbols here, that's user manual. So I went through and I did all of it. There's not a lot in there, to be honest. There are ways to kind of test kind of energies and go through the displays, but really it's got one button there. Press and hold it, so it flashes a few times like that, does a buzz, whatever, like that. And when you've got those two lots there, it's ready to go. That's it. That's all I wanted. Put your gun in there, shoot, and it comes up with a score on there in meters per second. So let's give it a try. So I think my HW110 is running about 11 foot-pounds of energy. So we'll do some calculations. So I'm going to turn that off in a second. Save the battery. You do plug it in. You get a little kind of charger cable which plugs into that hole there. There's USB on the other end. And what it does, it's got some little. See, can you see them? Got some little lights there. And it's got a light at the bottom there. So it's a light curtain, so it's measuring the light between, and as it passes through that beam and that beam, it measures the difference between the two. So exactly the same as your £150 chronographs. There's ones with the big aerials you've seen on them. I forget what they're called. Begins with a C, I'm sure, but you know what I mean. So it works exactly the same way, but it's, like I say, you're not going to put this down the end of the range. This is a muzzle velocity tester, so it's only test it at the muzzle, because you're not going to try and thread a pellet through there, because that's going to smash the hell out of it, especially the way I shoot. So I'm going to get this attached to a couple of my guns. I'm going to stick on the HW110. I'm going to be using the heaviest pellets I've got. So exact Diablo heavies, 18.13 grains. This is an old, look at that, I had to change this tin, look, the old tin got knackered, so it was a Diablo Fields tin. So I'm going to use these just to make sure I'm not going over the 12 foot-pound UK limit, and let's see where we are. Let's get it strapped on. Okay, so here we are, gun in hand. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to put this dirty old handkerchief out there, as all dads have. You're not a proper dad unless you've got a dirty old handkerchief. So let's get this attached to the end. So let's say slot that on. Try and get the handkerchief through there, just to protect your silencer, like that. Okay, that's it. So like I say, keep that to the edge, and then just tighten these at the bottom. Okay. Like that. Okay, let's move that back a bit. There you go. See that bit better. Okay. Right, so I've got it aimed down the garden. These are JSB heavies. Make sure we shoot into the grass, nice and fit, to see what we get. 159. Right, so now I've got it attached to this Crossman Nitro piston brake barreled rifle. Let's have a look, see what we get with that. You've got to be careful when cocking it, but let's see what we get. Same pellets. 150. Okay, well, better go on it there. Scores on the doors. So the HW110, that was the reading I just showed you, that was the average. I did take about half a dozen, about 159 meters per second. Don't forget meters per second, which using Google calculator is 521.6 feet per second with the 18.13 grain JSB heavies. That is a foot-pound of 10.96, so 11 nearest damage, which is spot on. I know with the heavies we'd all like to have 11.99, but you know, you don't want to risk it, do you? So yeah, and with the Crossman Nitro piston, that was 150 meters per second. Got it first time this one, which is 492.1 feet per second, which is 9.75 foot-pounds, so about 10, just under 10 foot-pounds for that one, which is for a Springer is okay. And I have tested it on some other pellets, and it does do better foot-poundage with some lighter pellets, which it shoots out pretty fast. So these things range, and it depends what they like. So in summary, 20 quid does alright. Don't expect anything fancy. Doesn't do the calculations for you like some of the other computerized ones, but it gives you a reading. The reading is consistent, I have to say. We're not having crazy numbers all over the place. All the numbers were within 1 or 2, I think 4 was the most difference. So, and that's probably the gun. So, all in all, despite the fact it's a no-name Chinese kind of knockoff job, you know, this bad boy does the trick. For 20 quid, you know, it showed me that my rifles are running about right. You know, now I've got that score, I can check them now and then, make sure they're not losing power. Happy days. Alright, we'll give you one there, Mr. China. Happy chronograph making. There you go, it's a bit cheap. Look at that, the plastic's coming away a little bit there, but it's a bit cheap as chips, but what do you expect, 20 quid. Alright, well, have a good time everyone. Paperball and pen tube. See you later.